some brief flash flooding. Scattered showers, nothing severe right now in Madison County. We'll continue to watch those. Any one of these thunderstorms with the atmosphere in place today could start to rotate, could strengthen, intensify, give us damaging hail, damaging wind gusts, and a brief tornado or two. All right, again, we were watching that hook right there coming out of Adair County, south of Stillwell. And then now that circulation, it's messy in here. We can go back to reflectivity, Michelle, and see if we see anything starting to tighten back up. A lot of heavy rain from Fayetteville to West Fork down to Winslow. The rain's going to continue to pick up. I'm not seeing anything. That would be a broad area of rotation, maybe right in there. Good news is, Michelle, I'm seeing it weaken. Are you seeing the same thing? Certainly not seeing it. Okay.
So very broad.
Yeah, and we can keep her mic up if we can. She was saying that it is certainly weakened as it's really gone from western Washington County off towards the eastern portions of the county. But that's where we're watching right now. And again, that circulation tightened up there south of Stillwell, could tighten up again. And we could see there's notches all up and down this line. As we continue to go deeper in the morning, it is possible that we could see several areas of rotation try to tighten up, and that is very common with these kind of setups that we have in place. These lines of storms, these squall lines, you've heard us say that before, you can easily get, again, these brief tornadoes. Most times they're brief. A lot of times they're on the ground before the warning comes out. When the warning's issued, they lift. Occasionally, you do see them last a little bit longer. If there's anything in our favor, they're typically brief. They're typically low end on the tornado scale, but nonetheless, we are watching that. So it looks like they've trimmed the warning back. Yeah. Okay, and they're still going with small hail. The tornado possible tag is still in there and could see a few embedded gusts up to around 60 miles per hour. This is going to go until 9:45. It looks like it is moving off towards the east around 45 miles per hour. I'll let you get a track if you want to. We can put a track on the leading edge of this and maybe more east-northeast because the storms within the line itself is moving east, but the storms in the line are actually tracking off toward the northeast. Again, one area that we're watching of circulation just to the north of Winslow, right along Highway 71 and I-49. That's what we're watching off towards the northeast. Michelle has a track for us. Hicks, 935, 942 for Elkins, Tuttle, 946, and Japton, 953. Again, this particular warning goes until 9:45. This is the only warning that we have in place. We are anticipating a watch to come out, at least a thunderstorm watch. Storm Prediction Center out of Oklahoma has been saying the potential may be more for a tornado watch. We'll watch that. We've seen these storms pulse up and down just to the west of us with some warnings. This is our first warning that we've had this morning. Let's go reflectivity. Let's zoom out a little bit when you get a chance, Michelle, and let's look at the entire area. Again, unstable atmosphere in place. Oops, slower, you're fine. The slower that it takes for this line to move through means that we just get more time for daytime heating. So our eastern, southeastern zones, Johnson, Logan County, could be 2, 3 o'clock before this back edge finally clears your area. It gives you more time to see some of those thunderstorms trying to intensify. One thing may be working in our favor. If this cluster continues to strengthen and get a little bit more organized to the south, it could cut off the southerly flow to the southern extent of this line. So once it crosses into the river valley itself, we could see this weaken some, but we'll still have to watch these storms. You can see the lightning tightening up there, or picking up there south of Waldron. That's one indicator that we look for intensifying storms. When the lightning count goes up, the storms are usually intensifying, so the intensity of the storm's going up. So we've got a lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning from Scott County to Logan County, below severe limits now, some gusty winds, maybe some small hail trying to get going there with that thunderstorm to the west of Waldron. This is the main show right now, this line of storms working through northwest Arkansas. We came on the air to warn you for the possibility of some damaging wind gusts and some brief tornadoes trying to touch down. Let's zoom in a little bit closer because I want to show these little jagged edges here. Any of these, this is why it becomes very difficult, because not only do we have to watch this, but the National Weather Service out of Tulsa has to watch this too. We have to watch every one of these little jagged edges, these little curlicues we call them, for rotation. You get one scan, not rotating. We get that next scan coming in for 5 minutes, about 5 minutes later, and then boom, it could be rotating. We have some video of some hail. Where was this coming from? Elm Springs. So it looks like we've got some small hail falling there. around Elm Springs. Again, Benton and Washington counties getting hammered with some heavy rain and some small hail this morning and some gusty winds. And again, looks like maybe some pea-size hail, dime size or smaller. Even the severe thunderstorm we're warning for right now, this isn't like the storms we saw just the other night. We're not warning for baseball-size hail. When we get these lines of storms, the hail threat goes down and the wind threat goes up. Now, you'll still get a downpour and you could get a pocket of some small hail, but right now, with the line of storms, we're not overly concerned with the hail threat, but nobody wants to hear that outside, right, when your car's out there, or just in general. So yeah, you can get some small hail embedded in here. Now, isolated thunderstorms that develop out ahead of the line, those do have the threat for some larger hail to develop. You hear us talk about it, those discrete supercells in these kind of setups. Again, you could get the brief isolated tornadoes along the edge, but any severe thunderstorm that develops out ahead of it in the air mass, untouched, all by itself, with that warm, muggy air mass in place, could start to rotate, become a supercell like what we saw the other day. When those get going, again, you can get the strong updrafts producing the large hail. You can get the strong damaging wind gusts coming out, and again, you could get those tornadoes to develop. We're watching this severe thunderstorm warning till 9:45, so we have about 15 minutes left. Let's go back to reflectivity, see if we see anything popping in there. Us trying to tighten back up. Michelle, are you seeing anything at all?
I'm not seeing anything. It seems very broad. If anything, maybe just gusty winds as it pushes through the central part of Washington County. But no, I don't really see a lot of rotation with the system.
I don't either. Again, it would be right in here. It's really kind of weakened some. That's good news. So we're not looking at, as of right now with the scan that we have, I don't see an imminent threat for a tornado, but you still have the threat for these damaging wind gusts. We say that all the time too. With these lines of storms, the tornado threat's there. We never want to, push it to the side, but it's very isolated, right? When you get the straight line winds coming through, that can affect a larger area at the same time. So we have to watch for that. Right now, we haven't had any reports of some damaging wind. Again, the only report we've had, and it's an early one this morning here, was as this line was coming out of eastern Oklahoma, possibly a brief spin up. And again, one scan, no rotation, next scan, tightening, get the tornado, and then it's gone. So we'll have to continue to watch that. Let's go ahead and back out of reflectivity, or excuse me, of velocity, and go to reflectivity. I'm also going to try to scan the rest of this line and see. We got some strong winds potentially up around Huntsville. Could see some gusty winds up there. We can see that, again, within this line. So it's moving into northern Madison County. You could get some gusty winds. Right now, it's not warned, but I wouldn't be shocked if you got some stronger wind gusts. Look at all the lightning. Again, as that pulses up, the intensity of this line of storms is pulsing up. We'll watch that cluster of thunderstorms. Again, you got people down here. Scott, Logan County is cleaning up portions of southeastern Sebastian County, Bloomer, and then Highway 22 from Paris all the way over towards Delaware. Cleaning up from the aftermath of Monday's storms. And now you're having to put everything on pause, on hold, and deal with this cluster of showers and thunderstorms. That's what we're watching too. These storms, as they come out of southeastern Oklahoma, they may be taking more of a southeast or east-northeast track, may keep them just to the southeast of us, but we will have to watch those. Those could intensify. This is what I'm talking about too, cutting off that southerly flow, and maybe these storms over time weaken to the south. We're still got an unstable atmosphere where scattered showers and thunderstorms, as the front comes through, it's strong enough. It's going to kick up showers and thunderstorms. Everyone's going to see the thunderstorm activity. Not everyone's going to see the severe weather. So we'll have to watch that. That is quite the lightning show, isn't it? Down there in North Texas and southeastern Oklahoma. So we'll continue to watch that too. I mean, again, just what we've been saying, look at the lightning here. Starting to see more and more of those popping up. So the line of storms is intensifying here. Not seeing anything new here from the National Weather Service. Nobody, no storm chasers, no one seeing anything, no ground truth out there. And again, as I'm looking at the velocity, Michelle, I'm not seeing anything too daunting here. Again, little area of rotation, maybe just to the north of Winslow. It's very, very broad, southeast of West Fork.
We can look at it really quick, but I don't see anything either. You can just see.
I think it's, yeah.
Very broad.
Yeah, very broad. This is the area that kind of came out of southwestern Washington County. And this is gusty winds right here. No doubt you could all write in right now and say, Zach, we're seeing some gusty winds. And we would believe you. The line of storms coming through like that heavy rainfall falling from the clouds. It's going to drag that air down with it. It's going to hit the ground and rush out. And that's what we get with those straight line winds. When you really get that rain core to collapse, rushes out. Wind can't go into the ground, hits the ground, rushes out. Again, little area there, a broad area of circulation. Can we go to a reflectivity and maybe even just pause it and then do the reflectivity and see, I think, a little bit of a hook there.
Can we go back to velocity so you can just see kind of where it is?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe right in there, maybe. And you got a little bit of a hook there. And that's what we're talking about, those little jagged pieces all up and down the line. They could produce these brief tornadoes really at any moment. So we're going to continue to stay on the air with you. We got another 10 minutes. We're going to cover you on this warning, see what the National Weather Service wants to do. They may hold off on, unless we see another circulation tightening up. And again, I don't think this is the last time that we'll come to you today. I think we're going to have more warnings as we go through the morning into the afternoon. It's just overall going to shift to the east and eventually the southeast as we go later on. But with that storm, when the report started coming out that maybe that tornado did touch the ground there and still that rotation did produce a tornado, not just a funnel, but down to the ground briefly, National Weather Service said, okay, we need to watch that circulation. That one means business. Again, we'll watch these thunderstorms down here to the south too.
So people do have some questions about Fort Smith, maybe the River Valley.
Okay. We're looking at, right now, everything stays online. We're going to watch this cluster of thunderstorms down here to the west and southwest. The line's moving east. The storms within the line, you can see it there, are moving northeast. So you start looking down the line, you're going to get this cold front to move in. Again, on the backside, we're going to look for temperatures to drop from the 70s, where we mostly all are, to the 50s and 40s. So again, strong cold front. We have the lift. We have the warm, muggy air in place. That's the fuel for the storm system. We have all the ingredients. We have the spin in the atmosphere. We have the moisture, the sticky air, the air you wear that we've been feeling for the last day or so. It's all there. Now we just have to wait for the front to come in. So now we're in what we call nowcasting. You see these showers of thunderstorms, they're pulsing up so quick. You go from nothing to now we have thunderstorms firing up in Fort Smith. We can go ahead and take a look down here. Again, you go from nothing, a couple of scans, and these thunderstorms start popping up. You get the lightning already. So these are some strong updrafts. These updrafts are going up very quick. Big cluster of lightning just to the south of Lafleur County. That is tracking towards portions of Scott County. We'll have to watch that for eastern Logan County. You guys are getting hammered with some heavy rain. But right now, what we brought you on air for was this warning here.
I will say, Zach, they just expired that severe thunderstorm warning for Washington County. So there's no more severe thunderstorm warnings for our area right now.
Okay. Okay, so about 400 without power around the Springdale area, Bethel Heights, around Johnson. I believe that's what you guys said?
Yes.
Johnson, Bethel Heights, Springdale. Okay, about 400 without power. You got a lot of lightning. We got the heavy rain. We got gusty winds coming through. Easily could give us some power issues, so we'll have to watch that. Video of hail in Lincoln. Let's go ahead and check that out. Again, I haven't seen any reports of large hail this morning. So far, we've been seeing small hail, less than the size of quarters. You can hear it coming down. Again, you can get those pockets of small hail. That's certainly what you have embedded in there. Michelle, I think that looks like pea size, dime size, maybe a few marbles.
Yeah, there's been actually some reports of nickel size hail.
Nickel, okay. Yeah, quarter size hail. That's an inch in diameter. When you get that, that's usually triggers a severe thunderstorm warning. So you're looking for hail at least the size of quarters. And then typically you'll tag it with some wind gusts 60 miles per hour or greater. So that's why some of you may be saying, hey, we've had the rain, we've had the hail. Why haven't we had a warning? Because maybe the hail's been overall on the smaller side. Still just sounds awful when you hear any hail hitting outside. Gusty winds can blow that into your window too. So you can even hear that on not only on your roof, but on the windows around the house. Okay, we can go back to radar. I think this is going to be a common occurrence, at least with this line as it pushes through now. You're going to get the pockets of small hail mixing in there. You can get some small hail quickly developing in these thunderstorms. Let's zoom in here to the south real quick in Crawford County, Sebastian. Want to watch these thunderstorms, these isolated thunderstorms here developing out ahead of the line. These could be trouble. Maybe not these particular ones right now, but as we go through the morning into the afternoon, these thunderstorms could rotate even a little bit more, and you could get some supercells to try to develop. You can kind of see how it already has that curvature to it there, below severe limits, but they pulse up so quick, almost like just out of thin air, pulsing up. You can see the updrafts are going up with the dark red showing up. The lightning starts to show up right away. So we'll continue to track these showers and thunderstorms for you. Let's go ahead and zoom out one more time here, and then we'll get you back to programming. Line of storms moving through. We have the severe thunderstorm warning that'll expire at 9:45, so the National Weather Service is not going to extend it. Had a possible tornado try to touch down briefly just to the west of Washington County, south of Stillwell. This line of storms is going to be moving east. We expect more strong to severe storms to mix in. Everyone's going to see the thunderstorms. Not everyone will see the severe weather. Of course, we'll keep you covered here on TV and online as we go through the rest of the day. So keep it here. We'll keep you ahead of the storm. Now let's get you back to regularly scheduled programming.